Guys, hold on to your seats. What do we actually know about the upcoming Avengers movies? Oh, there are theories flying everywhere. But what if I told you that everyone is wrong? Yes, you there, thinking your theory is spot on. You can toss it out the window. The Russo brothers have already spilled the beans. But can we trust them? Is Marvel planning something even crazier than we imagined? Stay tuned, because I'm breaking it all down. Let's go! Hey guys, it's Frog Frank, your favorite internet frog. And today we're talking about something big. You know the upcoming Avengers movies? Well, there are theories everywhere, but listen up, maybe none of them are right. Yep, Marvel might be cooking up a twist so massive that even Thanos would be shocked.
And knowing the Russo brothers, these guys don't mess around. What could they be up to this time?
Good question, Wool. All right, let's jump straight into what we know so far. All right, just so we're clear, these Avengers movies have changed names more times than DC changes Batman's. First, it was supposed to be Avengers, Kang Dynasty. But then, well, let's just say Jonathan Majors got into some serious trouble and poof, he was out. Marvel didn't just replace the actor, they decided to replace the villain too.
Man, that's crazy. But hold on, Frog. For those who don't remember, what exactly happened with Jonathan Majors?
Good point. Let's refresh everyone's memory. Majors was introduced as Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and was set up to be the big bad of the MCU's new phase. Marvel was putting all their chips on him because, let's be honest, Kang had the potential to be the next Thanos, right? But then, the drama hit. The actor was accused of assault, arrested, and after months of legal trouble, Marvel decided to cut him loose.
Oof, that's rough. So no Majors, no Kang?
The problem is, Kang Dynasty was literally about Kang. Without their lead villain, Marvel was stuck in a tight spot. Recasting him? That could have been an option, but it seems like the studio execs were already questioning whether Kang could actually carry the MCU as the new big bad. So then, boom! They decided to scrap everything. And who stepped up to take the throne as the ultimate villain? None other than the great, the feared, the legendary Dr. Doom.
Now it makes sense. So instead of a Kang-focused saga, Marvel shifted everything to Doom.
Exactly. Kang Dynasty got scrapped, became Doomsday, and then turned into part of the setup for Secret Wars. What was originally a tight, structured plan with Kang ruling the multiverse has now been turned into a massive reboot, with Doom pulling the strings from the shadows. But the real question is, does this mean we're getting the story everyone expects? Or is Marvel about to flip the table and do something completely different? Brace yourselves for this bombshell. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the Russo brothers, directors of the upcoming Avengers movies, dropped this statement. "I think these films will be a surprise for people. We found a way into the story that is very exciting for us, but also very radical. It's going to challenge the audience." Now, Wool, what does that even mean? Surprise? Radical? Challenge the audience? That's like when your friend says they have a bold idea, and you just know things are about to go off the rails.
Exactly. Radical could mean literally anything. Are they going to kill off everyone, make the Avengers lose, reboot the entire MCU? I have no idea what to expect anymore.
Right? And let's not forget, the Russo brothers have a history of flipping things upside down. In The Winter Soldier, they turned a superhero movie into an espionage thriller. In Civil War, they took one of the biggest events in comic book history and turned it into a family feud. Then came Infinity War, and the villain won. And in Endgame, they went all in and killed off half the MCU's most iconic characters.
So basically, there's no way we can trust that they'll follow the traditional storyline, right?
Not a chance. When they say, challenge the audience, that could mean they're throwing the comic book story out the window and creating something completely new. It could be an unexpected ending, an alternate universe, an Avengers team no one saw coming, or even Marvel hitting the reset button on the entire MCU.
Oh man, imagine if Secret Wars ends with a total Marvel reboot. Like a full reset, new actors, new universe, everything from scratch.
That would either be a genius move or the biggest disaster in Marvel history. But that's what makes this statement from the Russo brothers so wild. They didn't say, oh, it'll be faithful to the comics, or it's going to be as epic as Endgame. No, they used words that basically mean, everything you think you know about this movie is wrong.
And now the big question, are fans ready for this? Because if they really shake things up this much, people will either love it or absolutely hate it.
Here's the thing. Everyone was betting that Secret Wars would be just like the comics, where heroes from different realities all come together to fight in a massive cosmic tournament. But what if that's not it?
Wait, you're saying it could be something completely different?
Exactly, because the Russo brothers are known for making huge changes to Marvel's stories. Let's do a quick recap. The Winter Soldier. They turned a superhero movie into a political espionage thriller, Civil War. Instead of a massive superhero war, they focused on an emotional battle between Captain America and Iron Man, Infinity War. Everyone thought it would have a happy ending. And then Thanos just won, Endgame. Not only did they kill off major heroes, but they also ended an entire era of the MCU. When the Russo brothers say the movie is going to be radical and challenge the audience, that could mean a lot of things. They might kill off iconic heroes for good. They could rewrite the entire multiverse. Or they could just go full-on madness and make it so the heroes lose, like Infinity War 2.0. But this time, no way to undo it.
What if it's an ending that's completely different from anything we expect? Like, what if no one saves the universe?
Which is why, whatever theory you have, just throw it out the window. Because if there's one thing these guys love, it's catching everyone off guard. But tell me, Wool, do you think the audience is ready for this?
Frog, I think not. But that's exactly what's going to make these movies absolutely insane.
All right. It's time to put on our crazy theorist hats and make our bets. Because if there's one thing the Russo brothers made clear, it's that nobody knows what's coming. So, Wool, what's your theory for Secret Wars? Because I've got mine, and it's big.
I'll go first then. Ready for this, Frog? I think these guys are going to pull off something completely unexpected, like surreal, dreamlike. It won't just be time travel, multiverse chaos, and explosions everywhere. I think they'll do something mind-bending, like kind of like Inception, reality-breaking weirdness. Because remember when one of the Russo brothers didn't want to do the movie, but then called early in the morning and said, okay, I have an idea?
Oh, Bawa, snap! That's right! Dude, if he woke up with an epiphany, that means this isn't a normal comic book adaptation. It's something that only made sense in his head at that exact moment. But wait, are you saying it'll be like a dream? Like the entire Marvel universe was just a hallucination by Tony Stark?
No, I think they'll explore something we've never seen in Marvel before. Something that changes how we perceive superhero movies. It could be something like reality was rewritten, or the heroes we know were just fragments of something much bigger. Like, we thought we were watching the MCU, but in reality, it was just one small piece of a much larger puzzle. What if everything so far was an illusion? A simulation? I don't know.
Whoa, that would be insane. But Wool, my theory is even crazier. I think Secret Wars is going to be a total reset. Like, not only will the classic heroes disappear, they'll become the new villains.
What? How?
You remember that leaked photo, right? Doctor Doom's throne, and right next to him, Doctor Strange looking super dark and ominous. So here's what I think. Marvel is going to follow the Doom storyline from the comics and make the strongest heroes of the MCU the new antagonists. Like, the multiverse gets rewritten. The characters lose their sense of who they were, and now Doctor Strange, Thor, Captain Marvel, and the other most powerful Avengers are the new villains.
Oh man, that would be crazy, but wait, then who would fight them? If these guys turn into villains, who's left?
That's the thing. This would be the perfect moment for Marvel to introduce new protagonists. Maybe Tom Holland's Spider-Man becomes the new MCU leader. Or maybe Hugh Jackman's Wolverine sticks around to fight through the chaos. And another thing, remember how Doom in the comics rewrote reality and became a literal god? What if Marvel is heading in that direction, but with an even bigger twist?
Ah, Frog. Now you've got me thinking. What if Doom isn't actually the final villain? What if he's just a pawn in something even bigger? Like, I don't know, a cosmic tribunal, the Beyonder, or something that completely changes everything?
Exactly! They said the movie would be radical and challenge the audience. So it's either going to be a mind-blowing ending no one saw coming, or the biggest soft reboot in movie history. Either way, buckle up.
Oh man, now I'm getting nervous. And what about you guys? Which theory do you think is the craziest? Will it be a full reset? Will the heroes turn into villains? Or will it be something completely different from what anyone expects? Comment below. I need to see what you're thinking.
All right, hold on to your seats because this just got even crazier. A new report just dropped, and it's blowing people's minds. Turns out Tony Stark's death in Endgame wasn't just the emotional end of the Infinity Saga, it was the beginning of something much bigger.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Frog?
I'm talking about a multiversal twist straight from the Russo brothers themselves. In an interview with The Times, Anthony Russo was asked about how Avengers, Doomsday will set the stage for Secret Wars. And when they pushed him about Tony Stark's death, he dropped this cryptic bombshell. We can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to.
Wait, that means Tony Stark's death matters in Doomsday. But how? What does this mean?
Wool! Fans are going wild speculating about how Stark's legacy is tied to Doctor Doom's rise. And oh, it gets even bigger! Because guess who's playing Doom? All right, let's take a step back and really think about this. Because the more I connect the dots, the more I realize Tony Stark's death wasn't just necessary, it was destined. Look at what the Russo brothers said. They didn't just tease Tony's death being important. They straight up said that no one else in the world could play this character the way he's about to. That means Doom is connected to Tony Stark in a way we never imagined. But here's my crazy theory, Wool. What if Doom isn't a variant? What if Doctor Doom is Tony Stark?
Wait, what? You're saying Tony Stark never actually died?
Not in the way we think. Look, we saw Tony Stark die in Endgame, right? We saw the light fade from his eyes after he snapped Thanos and his army out of existence. But what if that moment, the moment he died, was actually the beginning of something much bigger? Think about it. Tony knew there were bigger threats out there. Even before Thanos, he was obsessed with the idea of protecting the world from future catastrophes. Ultron. That wasn't just a bad experiment, it was his first attempt at preventing another multiversal-level disaster. The guy wanted to put a suit of armor around the world. What if, in those final moments, when he snapped his fingers, he didn't just erase Thanos? What if he saw something? What if he realized that killing Thanos wasn't enough?
Oh no, Frog. You're not about to say what I think you're about to say.
I am. What if Tony Stark became Doctor Doom to save every universe from ever having a Thanos again? What if, in his final moments, he understood that no matter how many times they defeat villains, evil will always come back? What if he realized that the only way to truly protect everyone wasn't just to save his universe, but to merge all universes into one? What if Doom, this new Doom, isn't a variant, but the Tony Stark we watched die, now reborn with a new mission?
But Frog, that would mean Tony didn't just save one world, he's trying to save every world by becoming something greater.
Exactly. We've always thought of Doom as this power-hungry dictator, but what if this Doom believes he's doing what Tony Stark always wanted? What if he's not conquering for the sake of power, but because he thinks he's the only one capable of saving everyone? What if he's trying to make sure that another Thanos, another Kang, another multiversal war never happens again? Imagine Tony Stark, our Tony Stark, after seeing the worst of the worst, after fighting for so long, finally coming to the conclusion that heroes aren't enough, that justice isn't enough, that the only way to win is to control everything. to eliminate all universes and create one perfect timeline where no villains, no war, no chaos can exist. But here's the real question, Wolf. Would Tony Stark go that far? Would he be willing to sacrifice free will to become a villain in the eyes of others to ensure a perfect universe? Would he, of all people, believe that the only way to save the world is to rule it?
Frog, this is the craziest theory you've ever had. But it makes too much sense. If Doom is Tony Stark, then this means we're looking at the greatest Marvel twist of all time.
And that's why I'm losing my mind over this. This would explain why the Russo brothers said what they said. This is why RDJ coming back is such a big deal. He's not just playing a new character, he's playing a Tony Stark who has evolved into something else, something greater, something scarier. And if that's true, then this isn't just another Avengers movie. This is Marvel's biggest power move ever. And now, I need to know, what do you guys think? Is Doctor Doom really Tony Stark reborn? Is he trying to save the multiverse or control it? Could Tony have gone this far? Comment below, because I need to hear your theories. And don't forget to like and subscribe if your mind is as blown as mine right now. Let's go, Marvel, you mad geniuses. What are you doing to us?
All right, folks, it's that time again. Viewer questions. We love reading your comments. And today we've got some awesome ones to go through. So let's jump right in. Question 1. Rawsome. I've loved watching the evolution of this channel, getting better each one. Oh, this is so nice. Frog, what do you have to say?
Yo, Aralsome, you legend. Thank you so much. Seriously, this channel is all about growing and making crazier, more fun content for you guys. And seeing comments like this makes all the hard work worth it. Big froggy hug to you. And hey, if you think it's getting better now, just wait. Because we're only getting started. Let's go!
Question 2. We're Sonayu D'Agostino. I love the idea of Spider Noir. Good one, Frank. Sonayu, back at it again with the awesome takes. Frog, you gotta respond to this one.
Oh yeah, my guy. Spider-Man Noir is criminally underrated. A dark, gritty detective version of Spidey? Sign me up. And the fact that Nick Cage voices him? Iconic. If Marvel and Sony don't milk that character for all he's worth, I'm rioting. But hey, Sonayu, you always bring the heat with your comments. What other Marvel deep cuts would you want to see on the big screen? I need to know.
Question 3. Ein Bobruis non 42 I channel EW. Frog, what do we even say to this one?
A Bobrus 1242, my dude. Not your best work. But hey, I appreciate the engagement. Stick around. You might learn something cool. Or at least watch me yell about Marvel.
Question 4. RGKNRT0531. Good riddance. I should be glad this movie is going to stay canceled. It's becoming irrelevant because what's the point of doing another Superman film? Oh, okay. We got some hot takes coming in. Frog, what do you think?
All right, ARG-Canard-AO531, here's the thing. They need a superhero movie like the Avengers again. Why? Because the genius of the Avengers wasn't just the big team-ups. It was that Marvel got people hooked on every movie leading up to it. Fans had to watch everything to understand what really mattered. That's how they printed money for over a decade. DC tried to do the same thing with Batman vs. Superman, but instead of taking their time, they threw like 4 movies into one, and, well, we all know how that turned out. And now, the new plan is basically to hit the reset button, wipe everyone's memory Men in Black style, and act like none of that ever happened. And look, I want them to succeed. I really do. But do I think it's actually gonna work? Not convinced. At this point, we just have to watch the movie and see if they actually learn from their mistakes. Or if we're about to sit through another round of trust us, this time we got it right.
All right, nerds, that's a wrap. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Doom actually Tony Stark? Is Marvel about to pull the biggest twist ever? Drop your theories in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of this madness. See you in the next one.